I set up that light that I just got in the mail the other day, and it is mega bright. I can't wait to see this in the dark. Although it hasn't been 3 days, it has a bit of a charge, so I think it'll be fine. Well, it's bedtime in the chicken tractor, and everybody's going into bed. Somebody just fell out. A little baby just fell out of bed all the way from the top. But I put the little ones in, but the big ones, these two, these are the big flowery ones. Now you can get a close-up look at my flower birds. Yeah, pretty birds. They're going into bed all on their own. And the big rooster will probably follow after he's done strutting around. Hopefully the little baby gets back in there. She just fell out. I'll come back and check later, but you can see up in there, everybody's in there, nice and happy. Hope that little one finds its way back in. I'll have to check. For safety, I put down this big piece of treated lumber along the side, and I think what I'll do is I'll just keep that there. Each time I move the chicken tractor, I'll slide along that lumber. That gives another 4 inches of digging that anything has to do to get inside to the chickens. I might even consider putting 2 of these side by side outside the chicken tractor and just sliding them along every night just to protect my birds. I've been restoring my Coleman compressor. It's a 4-in-1 cordless rechargeable air compressor and light, using my miniature little Bedini generator, and I've been using it on and off for a couple of weeks. I have it off at night, on a little bit here and there, so it's not been on 24/7. And this was at, I think I had said, what, 0.00 volts or 0.04 volts or something like that. It was under a volt because accidentally one of the switches got accidentally bumped on during a move, and I never found it until it was too late. Normally it would have been destroyed, but look at the battery status level now. That's the status indicator. And I'm going to check the voltage. We've got 12.41 volts right now, and that's on a battery that was destroyed. By all conventional means, this little device would have been junk. Normally, well, actually I got this for free because it was junk years ago, and I restored it with my Bedini, and I've been using it ever since. Ruined it again, and I restored it again, so I can turn on the air compressor, which you wouldn't be able to do normally. So the Bedini generator works. That's the Bedini right there, just this wheel. Actually, I'm going to give it a spin and get some more charge in here. And I'll just pump some more current in there and bring it back up. I want it to be about 12.7, 12.8, 13 volts when I'm done. I hope you can hear me over the noise of the fan. It's 8 o'clock in the morning and I have to have a fan on and the windows open. We went from highs of 50s and 60s to highs of 80s and lows of 60. I think it's 66 this morning. So weird. I want to show you a problem I have. If you can see that. Oh, you can't. There you can see it. All the creepy critters in my light. I don't know why they've chosen there. Now this is an ant bait that I think they're devouring. This is carpenter ants, and they have infested my camper. They're everywhere. They crawl on me, on my floor, on my food, on my counter. It's disgusting. It's so disgusting. And once you get an infestation, it's hard to get rid of them. There are 10,000 ants per colony, and each colony sends out satellite colonies, and as much as 6 to 8 or 10 satellite colonies. So I could have as many as 100,000 ants out here attracted to my camper. And essentially, all they need is water for happiness. Even if you don't have food and you have a clean place, they'll be there for the water, which, of course, I have in my sink. It's impossible to clean out all the water drops. They're always in my sink. I'm making a ant poison mixture from something I found on the internet. This is a 1.5 cups of sugar. I'm boiling about 3 cups of water, and I'm going to put borax in it and heat it up and mix it up and hope that I can get rid of these ants. I've got some water on the stove here I'm going to heat up, and then I add my sugar and borax to it. The original 20 meal team borax, been around for, well, since 1891. Let's see if this stuff works and kills my ants. I've mixed roughly 3 cups of water with 1.5 cups of sugar and 9 tablespoons of borax. The recipe I got calls for a cup of water, 1/2 cup sugar, and 3 tablespoons of borax, so I just tripled it. I have a massive ant infestation in both campers, the survival camper and my home, basically. And so I've heated this up to a boil, stirred it up nicely. I'm going to let it cool, and then I'm going to put it in containers like little pop bottles with a tapered neck, so only the ants can get into it, just to be safe. Wouldn't want my cat drinking this, for example. And then I'm going to put this in corners and under the campers and outside where it won't get rained on, but where the ants are getting into my camper at. Okay, I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with my truck. Now, I have a good battery, good lights. Something's here in the ignition. Now, if I turn on the 4-ways, a minute ago they were kicking on. 4-ways are on. I can hear it click. I turn on the ignition key, everything is dead. I turn off the ignition, the 4-ways work. On the ignition, everything is dead. Ignition off, 4-ways work. Turn off the 4-ways. Now, occasionally, and I don't know if it's a switch, every once in a while I get power. Now it's not going to do it. There's 4-ways. Ignition's off, 4-ways work. Ignition on, 4-ways off, and there's no power to anything. My lights work. Of course, I can't see anything at night. Wait a minute. Alright, turn off my 4-ways. I think my lights work. Oh, I have a headlight bulb out. Well, that's a bummer. Oh boy. Well, anyway, my lights work. Well, that just went out. Actually, this whole side is out. That's odd. It's unusual. Well, I've got some serious wiring issues all of a sudden. Let me see what the back is doing. There is very dim, I think, or nothing. And this side, nothing. Okay, I have problems. Now the dome light works no matter what I do. Turn on the dome light, ignition, nothing, doesn't matter. So there's something is weird. I hate wiring issues. I've got some frames set up here. I've got this 40-foot sheet of metal, and I've got two massive frames up. This is a 5-footer. This is a 6-footer. This is the one you saw me putting together a little bit ago. And I'm going to do a 4-footer and a 3-footer, and hopefully it'll support 3 of those sheets of metal and collect me a large amount of rainwater when it rains, which will probably be soon. I'm using nails that I had pulled out of the pallets, so I have to straighten a lot of them. But that's going to make this an absolutely free, 100% free water collection system. Recycled everything. I'm happy when I grew up. Didn't have a lot of money growing up. I had a lot of junk to play with. I used to tear stuff up and reuse the nails. I'm happy I had that experience. Sure helps now. Well, there's the framework that I hope is going to support this metal. So let's see if I can get this stuff up there. I've managed to coax one sheet of metal up. I should have recorded it. Sort of stupid of me. But anyway, that was a job. So there's the theory. I have to support them onto there, 3 of them wide, and I'll collect the water into a barrel. It's just sitting there for now. I'll have to figure a way to make that go. Need a break. It's hot, it's humid, and I'm dizzy. Well, this is the current weather condition, and I'm telling you, it's harsh. It's really harsh. After 30 and 40 degree nights, 50 and 60 degree days, it's like somebody flipped a switch and now we have Florida weather. This is not normal. This is really, really not normal. It says feels like 92, and it does, trust me. I'm dehydrating faster than I can drink. I have to take breaks. The camper is an oven. I don't know where to go. I don't have air conditioning yet. This is weird. I was just burning firewood a couple days ago. I'm about to open my truck camper and show you how bad the ants are in here. Usually, well, surprisingly now they're fewer. I don't know if you can see that. All those black spots moving around. But the floor is covered with them. The camper is loaded with them. Well, we had a heat factor of 92 today, but the birds did alright. They got warm, but so did I. They drank a whole gallon of water today. Of course, so did I. But they made it. It was a hot, hot day. Now my garden, I mowed around in between today. So you see a short grass. I have to figure a way to cut around this deer netting and keep the ticks down. But my garden is growing well. You can see the onions are really happy. Actually, the onions are overtaking the tomatoes, but that's fine. I will be harvesting them earlier. And then there's the garlic over here. And everything's pretty much doing well. here the plants are bushier. I don't know why this side is bushier, but actually everything is bigger on this side. My vine plants are blooming, but the blooms are drying up. Although the ground is wet, it's been raining for days and days and days. We had just one scorcher of a day today, but everything's growing nicely. And over here I've got potatoes coming up. Now, I haven't planted potatoes since I was a little kid, so I'll be honest. I put in whole potatoes, and obviously look, I've got multiple sprouts coming up from each plant. I wonder if I can take a knife and cut in there and split them in half still and separate them. I'm open to suggestions, people. Here's some lazy potatoes, a couple more vines. Uh-oh, the little guy in the middle finally gave up the ghost. There was a small one here, or something got it. It's gone. Well, this hill wasn't planted yet. I have to get to it. And these are my seed bombs. People suggested I should not push them in the dirt, so I took them out. And out of 6 of them, one has a little bit of stuff. Something's been digging in here, probably squirrels. Oh, there's a seed bomb. There's a seed. There's something. Well, there's a couple little things down in there. But I'm not impressed. After these things have been in here more than 10 days, maybe 12 days. And I'm not impressed. The photo showed 5 days and showed a massive amount of growth. Well, not here. Now I've got my 40-foot panels. I've got 2 of them up. It was just stinking hot today, so I only got 2 sheets up today, with room to put a third. And last summer, when I had 2 sheets of metal on a camper roof, I was filling up 30 gallons in a heavy rainstorm in 10 minutes. So I figure 3 of these should fill a 50-gallon tank, hopefully. This I had found laying out in the property last year and salvaged it and cleaned it. It's not spotless, but this will not be drinking water anyway. I can use it for gardening or for bathing. But we were supposed to have thunderstorms today, and we didn't. Funny, now for the first time since I've moved out here in the camper, I want rain. And it didn't come. Isn't that ironic? But look how simple this is. This is a framework of wood. Some junk plastic blowing up here. I have to clean this mess up. This is a framework of wood. Very simple. Pallet wood. Recycled junk. Some pieces of sheet metal that I found laying out in the forest. And the only thing that I bought, actually this was from last year, I bought this gutter for I think $5 or $6, piece of rain gutter. And I very simply, there were holes in the sheet metal originally, and I just put baling wire in here. I ran a couple holes on the bottom lip to hold it down, and then I ran to the back side of it to keep it at an angle. I ran 3 wires up to the metal so it keeps it tilted, so the water running in is going to splash in and go downhill into my tank. Now I'm going to also set up another tank, my 30-gallon, once I get things going here. This will have an overflow and run in and fill up my 30-gallon. And then I'll have the water pump. Somehow I have to figure a way to run electricity out here. And then I'll be able to pump water from here into my camper. And then I'll get my filter going as well. So it's coming together. What worries me is I rent, and I've got pallets everywhere. I've got raised beds everywhere. I've got solar panels, rainwater collection. I'm taking over this meadow. If I ever have to move, oh boy, what a job. Somebody told me on one of the comments on YouTube there's a wire from a solenoid goes up to the ignition. I thought it'd be the other way around, but I gotta check it. If I can find it. I got the ignition key on. I'm sitting here trying to wiggle all the wires everywhere. I think, well, I found a loose wire. Nothing's happening. What's this? I found a loose wire in a solenoid. It moves. I'm wondering if that could be it. Since I can barely see anything down here is the problem. Well, I can tighten this wire, I guess, and see if that'll do anything for me. I'm wiggling it, but it's all oily. And that could be my problem as well. Well, after wiggling this wire, I went in and found, yes, the ignition was on. I turned it off and back on again, and it was off. So I should hear the fuel pump kick on when I wiggle this. There it is. The fuel pump just kicked on. I found the loose wire causing my trouble. I don't know who you were on YouTube that said check that on the solenoid, but thank you. That was it. I love a simple Chevy. Let me reconnect the battery and see if I'll have a running truck. See if this whole beast will fire up. I hope. Well, gotta love my YouTube family. Thank you for the advice, guys. Easy fix. Wish the tow wasn't so expensive, but hey, got it home, got it running.